Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sport. And obviously, the entire rugby world has been reacting throughout the day to the massive news that Eddie Jones is back. And we kind of knew he would be in some sort of capacity. It was going to be very strange, and I'll be very surprised if we did have, or if we had to head into a World Cup without Eddie Jones, given the fact that World Cup, it's what he does. You know, he's a tactician. He's somebody who can innovate. He's someone who can always make a plan and he can add value very quickly. And that is exactly why Rugby Australia have decided to terminate the contract of Dave Rennie and go and hand Eddie Jones a contract that will run until 2027, which will include 2 World Cups as well as a British and Irish Lions series. So a massive backing for Eddie Jones, and also very interesting to see that they're willing to make the change and get rid of Dave Rennie. Now, I think Dave Rennie's got an interesting or an interesting sort of position on Dave Rennie, because a lot of people are saying that it feels unfair that he was sacked, for example, that he was doing a really good job, but Australia looked really good under him. Must have been to be a little bit iffy about Dave Rennie. You know, I think that he's a player, or he's a manager rather, or coach that is obviously going to struggle to produce the results, given the fact that a lot of Australian players, for example, aren't available to him. You know, with the McGill law, for example, and having to like very selectively choose which players abroad, you know, are eligible and stuff like that. But I think the biggest thing, you know, for me when it looks at Dave Rennie is he didn't have a good win percentage. You know, he sits there with, he leads with a 58% win percentage. And look, it's difficult because, for example, you look at those, you know, he played 34 games, 9 matches of those were against New Zealand. So, you know, just over every third match was against New Zealand. And he lost 7 of those, drew 1. For example, he had a very good record against South Africa. He beat South Africa 3 times, only lost once. But he also lost against Wales, Scotland, Japan, France twice, England, Argentina 3 times, for example. And I think at the end of the day, you know, a 38% win percentage for an international coach is not, especially Australia, is not ideal. And when you're putting on Eddie Jones available to you, you don't want to miss out on him. I think that's almost the biggest thing. You know, I think that if Eddie Jones wasn't available, then Dave Rennie keeps his job. But the fact that Eddie Jones was sacked by England and Steve Borthwick taking over, we've also seen Wayne Pivac taking over at Wales, the third different international coach that has come in the last couple of months, less than a year out from the World Cup. Now, the big thing is what can Eddie do? Now, Eddie Jones has come out firing, and he said, it is a wonderful opportunity for me to be able to come home to Australia and lead my nation to a Rugby World Cup. It's going to be an immense period for Australian rugby. As a proud Australian, it is a great honour to be able to come here and lead the national team during these years. The Wallaby squad is a very talented group of players with good depth. If we can have everyone fit and healthy going into the World Cup this year, I'm confident that we can go to France and break the 24-year drought of winning the Rugby World Cup. I saw I got to the Wallaroos win the Rugby World Cup in New Zealand last year. It looks like there's a real spirit in that group that will drive the women's program forward ahead of the next World Cup in 2025. I'm really looking forward to getting back home and getting stuck in. The funny thing is, that is not a playing to the press or, you know, just saying what you expect to say. Eddie Jones will genuinely believe that he can win the World Cup with Australia. And what's add to that is the fact that they're in the same World Cup group as England, which means that they will face each other in the group stages. Rugby Australia chairman Hamish McLennan said, it is a major coup for Australian rugby to have the best coach in the world return home to coach the iconic Wallabies and oversee the Wallabies program. And that's quite interesting, you know. So he said, so this is going back to the press release. In addition to his role with the Wallabies and a world first, Jones will also oversee the Wallabies program as Rugby Australia pushes forward towards a professional future for the women's 15s game. So not just the Wallabies, he will also be really driving that women's game, which is going to be interesting to see how he does with that. Eddie's deep understanding of our rugby system and knowledge of our players group and pathways will lift the team to the next level. Eddie instinctively understands the Australian way of playing rugby. This represents an opportunity to secure a coach of immense expertise and experience at the biggest competitions, and we did not want to miss it. And I think that's very important. As I said, I don't think Dave Rennie gets the sack if Eddie Jones is not available. Rugby Australia CEO Andy Marino said, I would like to thank Dave for his hard work and effort with the Wallabies. We are grateful for all that he has done for Australian rugby. Dave has been instrumental in developing much of the depth that we see in and around the current Wallaby squad. There are a number of players that are genuine World Cup possibilities because of the opportunities that Dave has provided, which I think is very true. I think Dave really did cast his net pretty wide and has blooded a lot of players. He says the work ethic of the spirit within the group and the way the team carried itself are all in direct result of Abe's input. He has made a real mark on this group of players. So very much sort of acknowledging. I think Dave Rennie did, as I said, there's no doubt that there were major steps taken by Dave Rennie and that there are a lot of positives. I just don't think he was ever consistent enough and managed to produce results consistently enough for to justify not going and getting an Eddie Jones. But it's going to be very interesting. What I want to know out of you is, do you think that Eddie Jones can really take Australia to a World Cup? How far can they go? Just how big a difference will Eddie Jones? Let me know down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.